Okay, and the next module that we're going to cover on Chatty Subjects EYFS is the natural world. So here we are again at the top level where you can see all the main modules. We're going to pop into subjects, then EYFS, and then click on the natural world. And this breaks up into two big areas. So we've got weather and seasons, and we've got sea. Weather and seasons, that breaks down into weather, seasons, and the sea breaks down into under the sea and the seaside. Okay, so we'll start with weather and seasons, and then I'll explain this in depth in case you haven't looked at any of the other help videos for EYFS yet, but then all the others will be slightly higher level because they all work in the same way. So let's click on weather. And I always suggest to people to go into word map first so you can get a feel for all the target vocabulary that we're showing within here. So these are all the key words we want children to learn in order that they can cope with understanding this part of the EYFS curriculum. So if we clicked on any one of these,
sun,
it will say what it is, and then we can work around each speech bubble. What's the initial sound of sun? It's S. Where do you find it? Up in the sky. And you can see each answer, it shows up on the screen here, so you can fill all those in. Makes a lovely carpet piece of work. Great for once you've taught the vocabulary as a way of just checking that the words are being remembered, consolidated, and maybe you've taught the word sun in the morning, then in the afternoon you can pop back in and go through this with the children, see who can give you the answers. Keep an eye on the ones that aren't remembering. They'll obviously need a bit more input. But it's all ways of giving extra exposure to each word. So you work your way around that, but I would only tend to do that once I've actually done some main teaching. And to do my main teaching, I'm going to go into word cards, and this will bring up each of the words in this category. And we can go through in a very broad way, just teaching each noun.
snow,
Snow, you've got lightning.
lightning, thunder,
But hopefully you'll be wanting to do it in more depth than that to make it stickier learning for the child. So you can use this spinner here, which takes you through the way to cue the child for each word in the most effective manner. This is the way a speech and language therapist is trained to teach vocabulary. So tell them what it's called. It's thunder. What does it look like? You can't see it, but you can hear it. And it usually happens alongside lightning in a storm. Probably just already explained where we would find it. What's the initial sound of the word? It's the th sound. Can they think of a word that goes with thunder? I would probably say lightning or storm. Another item in this weather group, so they could say something like rain or sun. Back to the beginning again, and then on to teach another word. So I might start by teaching one or two words to the children, and then come out and start playing some games. It depends how much you feel this vocabulary is secure for your children in the class. Try not to make any assumptions because you might get a shock. We've also got the scenes tool, and the idea of this is it's bringing the things we're teaching together into one place and forming a nice discussion point so that we can have an oracy conversation with the children on the whole. And also it comes with blank level questions as well. You don't have to use the blank level questions. You can give your own questions. You can just get the children to make up a story about it, tell you what they can see. But obviously the blank levels of questions means that every single child will be getting a question that suits their own level of comprehension. So you could have used our blank levels assessment, which sits within Chatty Emotions. There's a digital assessment there where you can find out what blank level a child is up to. And then you could have a note, maybe a lollipop stick, which has a number on it and a child's name. And then you'll know that Johnny always needs blank level 1 questions. Amelia can have a blank level 4 question. And you'll be pitching questions exactly to the right level of comprehension for each child. So it will go through asking questions, first of all at level 1, then move on to level 2. You can see these questions becoming a little less concrete now. Level 3 starts to require some prediction, some inference, problem solving, thinking of emotions and what their thoughts are. And then we go on to level 4, where you're again thinking a much wider, reading between the lines, bringing some experience to the situation, answering why questions, which is the most difficult level of blank levels, etc. There is a setting here where you can say, right, my children aren't any further on than level 2 blank, so don't bother giving me 3 and 4. And so the system will just give you level 1 and 2 questions. Maybe your children are past 1 and 2, and so you want level 3 and 4 questions. Okay, and so it will immediately start there. I'll just reset that back to the defaults. So always remember about these settings buttons on the right, and they are there to allow you to make changes to make it easier or harder for different children. Don't forget about help as well. So you must have used it to get to what I'm saying now, but it's there within the whole system to help you get on with knowing how to use it. I'll quickly go into the games just in case you've not seen these yet. Pairs, you're obviously looking for 2 the same.
Lightning.
You can click on a picture.
Rain.
And it will say what it is.
Thunder.
Oh, we've got rain, 2 rains there. But it's important the child is exposed to the word over and over again.
Thunder. Thunder. Fog. Fog.
So if you were playing with a child, you could just be saying those words. If they were playing on their own, they could be clicking on the picture. We've got Kim's game. And here we would be saying it's the sun, it's fog, it's rain, and it's thunder. One of them's going to hide away. Was it wind or was it sun? And it was sun, obviously. And then we can spin again, get a new random selection. We've got fog, rain, lightning, and wind. Which one's disappeared? Was it rain or snow? Sleet, I think that one is actually. And it was rain. If you get it wrong, you just get a sad face and then you can guess again. So that's Kim's game. Magic Cups. Again, click on the picture and it will say what it is. Start the game and Thunder's going to get covered up by the cups. So again, I'm going to keep saying Thunder as much as I can. Thunder's going to keep moving around. I wonder where Thunder is. They've got to remember. I got it right because I remembered. Whoopee. And there is a setting again here where you can change the speed. So there's a much faster speed of the cups moving, which might suit if you've got older children playing this or more able children playing it as well. And essentially that's everything you need to know about how to use the weather section. And that is going to apply in exactly the same way to seasons. So there's all your vocabulary. Go into any one of those.
Spring.
And you can brainstorm it with all the class. Get each one up in turn if you want to teach these words, with your spinner there to prompt you on how to discuss each word. And then you've got a composite picture, just picking one of the seasons and you know, it's a nice depiction of what happens. And you can either just chat about that or you can use your blank levels of comprehension questions. Same games again, so I won't go into that. So that's weather and seasons. If we go into sea, we've got under the sea and seaside. I think we've got 2 sets for each of these. So easier vocabulary for under the sea. Here's all your vocab. So crab and seal and turtle, fish. And then everything works the same. You've got a blank level picture for that, which is nice with questions. Then you've got some slightly harder vocabulary. Coral, cuttlefish. And again, you can go into any one of these.
Pufferfish.
And brainstorm it. And you've got a different composite scene for discussion with the children as well. And the usual games. Let's go into seaside. 2 sets of vocabulary. Easier words. Slightly harder words. But we're covering lots of language and vocabulary in there. You can look at any one on a big scale. The usual teaching. And then you've got a nice composite picture for discussion. They're crabbing or rock pooling. I think for the easy set, there's a nice picture of a picnic. Things to talk about like a lifeguard and, you know, you've got buckets and spades, you've got a windbreak there and a flag. So lots of things you can talk about with the children, as well as having blank questions. Okay, and that's the natural world. So hopefully that will be helpful for you.